On the night of March 8, 2014, the sky seemed to hold an unknown, terrifying presence in the deep darkness as the Malaysian Airlines Boeing 777 was ready to take off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Its destination was Beijing, China, gathering passengers from various corners of the world for a routine journey at 1 Gals AM. But no one knew that this would become one of the most mysterious flights in history. There were 239 passengers and crew members on board. Inside the plane were the experienced Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah and his young co-pilot Fariq Abdul Hamid. At 12:40 AM, the engines roared to life, filling the runway with bursts of light as flight MH370 slowly took to the skies, leaving the bright lights of Kuala Lumpur behind. In this way, the plane climbed to an altitude of 35,000 feet. The plane's mission was to cross Malaysian airspace and enter Vietnamese airspace. And the first waypoint was normal. At 1:15 AM, the plane was flying over the South China Sea. They were instructed to communicate with Vietnam's ATC, but there was no response from the pilots. It then crossed the waypoint, but suddenly, the plane disappeared from radar. It was now 1:15 AM and the plane was smoothly flying over the South China Sea with the pilots focused on their tasks as they approached their destination. They were instructed to communicate with Vietnam's ATC, which was standard procedure at 1 AM. But even after a few minutes, there was no response from the pilots. The ATC in Vietnam, in the control tower, continued to wait desperately for any sign of communication, but there was no response from the aircraft. It then passed over the waypoint, and then, quite unexpectedly, the plane disappeared from radar. MS-370, DCP Ashram Road. The frightening thing is that a modern commercial aircraft like this, which is under radar surveillance at every moment, could just disappear like that. Initially, it was thought that it might have been due to a mechanical issue. Perhaps the pilots accidentally failed to communicate. But when the transponder also went silent, the whole situation became even more mysterious and terrifying, because the transponder is a device that sends information about the aircraft's position, speed, and altitude. Its failure means that the aircraft cannot be detected by radar. Vietnam's ATC immediately contacted Malaysia's ATC. They asked, "Have you been able to communicate with MH370?" Malaysia's ATC was left confused. "We thought it was under Vietnam's control. Everyone wonders, where is the plane going?" Anxiety grows, and Malaysia and Vietnam's ATC exchange information. Malaysian military radar, capable of tracking commercial aircraft, is activated. At 1 Gauss, it reveals MH370 turned from east to west, moving north of Sumatra, crossing the Malacca Strait opposite its route. Is it pilot error or a hijacker? With the transponder off, knowing the plane's position is difficult. The plane disappears from radar at 1 Gauss north of Sumatra. The world holds its breath. There are 239 passengers and crew on board. Malaysia's military radar is activated. At 1 Sododia, it reveals MH370 has turned from east to west. This unusual movement raises doubts. Is it pilot error or a hijacker? With the transponder off, the plane's position is unclear. Mysteriously, the plane disappears from radar at 1 Gok north of Sumatra. No signals have been received since. There are 239 on board. Everyone waits to know what happened. News spreads. Malaysian Airlines announces flight MH370 is missing. A shocking event at 1 Galax. A massive search begins in the South China Sea, the plane's last known position. Was it pilot error, or did someone else take control of the plane? A hijacker had turned off the transponder, making it difficult to determine the plane's exact location and direction. Did the pilots make this decision, or were they mysteriously forced to? According to the latest military radar data at this time, the plane disappeared from radar again at Wanva in an unknown location north of Sumatra. Further signals from the plane have been received since. The world was in a state of suffocating excitement. The 239 passengers and the unfortunate, everyone is waiting. Each second is a mystery. News spreads globally. Malaysian Airlines announces flight MH370 is missing. At 1 Charter, a search begins. The first search is in the South China Sea. Military forces collaborate. Drones, ships, submarines, and satellites search. No signs of the plane are found. Typically, signs of oil, wreckage, or signals are found. But MH370 vanished. The search expands to the Malacca Strait and Bay of Bengal. Searches are everywhere, but no wreckage is found. Media monitor this incident. Every news piece, satellite image, and state's data is analyzed, but no answers are found. It feels like a test of patience. The military forces of Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and Singapore begin to work together. Drones, ships, submarines, and satellites are used to conduct searches across the entire ocean. Despite hours of searching, no signs of the plane are found. Typically, after an aircraft accident, signs of oil, wreckage, or signals are found over the ocean, but MH370 seems to have literally vanished into thin air. After that, the search area is further expanded to the Malacca Strait and the Bay of Bengal. Searches are conducted in every possible location, but no wreckage of the plane is found. Media houses around the world begin to keep an eye on this incident. Every piece of news, every satellite image, every state's data is deeply analyzed, but no answers are found. Feels like the world is undergoing a deep test of patience. And amidst this search, at 1:09, sources indicate that the British satellite company Inmarsat reported that flight MH804 attempted to communicate with their satellite. These signals provided crucial information about the plane's location. Analyzing the data from March revealed that the plane remained in the air for nearly 7 hours after takeoff, allowing for a possible flight path to be mapped based on the distance from the satellite. These patterns showed that the plane headed towards the southern Indian Ocean. This information seemed to unveil new mysteries for the search operation. And so, the search in the South China Sea and the Strait of Malacca was called off. The new target for the search became the deep regions of the Indian Ocean, which is one of the most remote and vast areas on Earth. Conducting a search here was a significant challenge. The world was then filled with excitement as each signal raised new questions. If the plane was deliberately taken on this route, then why was every possibility being investigated, yet none seemed to materialize in reality? Finally, in 2015, Warner debris washed up on Reunion Island. This debris was examined and confirmed to be part of MS-37 0.001. More debris was later found off the east coast of Africa. This discovery confirmed that the plane had crashed in the deep Indian Ocean. However, this discovery did not solve mystery. Where is the main wreckage of the plane? Why did the plane take this route? And why was the transponder turned off? The answers to these questions remain unknown. The disappearance of MH370 seems to challenge the limitations of modern technology, proving that there are still many mysteries in the world whose answers we do not know. Interestingly, this incident opened the way for new policies and technologies in aviation safety. Yet, one question still lingers. What was the actual event surrounding flight MH370? Perhaps one day we will solve this mystery, but that day is still unknown to us. It opened the way for development, yet the question remains, what was the actual event surrounding flight MH370? Perhaps one day we will solve this mystery, but that day is still unknown to us.